Hey guys, this is going to be a response video to Mr. Fartboy's uh, 5 questions about vinyl. So I guess let's get into it. Give an example of brilliant lyrical writing and who is your favorite lyricist? Well, that one for me is very easy to answer. Mine is Bob Dylan. I would have to say, hands down, greatest lyricist of all time. Just everything he does, I love, and I think it's very hard to argue that I mean, there's anyone better than him. I mean, you could argue Lennon and McCartney, but in my opinion, just Bob Dylan. I mean, I just love everything he does, and I mean, I try to think of an example of lyrical genius, and I just can't because everything I think, all of the songs I think about, I'm like, oh, well, The Hurricane's a great song, but then again, so was Blowin' in the Wind, and then again, Like a Rolling Stone is one of the greatest song of all time. So obviously, I mean, just everything he does, I love. When the ship comes in, that's one of my favorite songs as well. Um, just everything he does, I love. I mean, you just can't beat Bob Dylan. This is one of his greatest hits albums. Um, just everything. I love everything he does. Bob Dylan, number one artist of all time in my opinion. I love Bob Dylan. All right, next question. In your opinion, what is the single most important event you've either witnessed or lived through in the history of rock and roll music or music in general? Okay, well that one again is kind of easy to answer. Since I wasn't around back when all the music that I like was happening, um, the only big musical event that I've really lived through is the death of Michael Jackson. And I was never big into his music, but I still knew who he was, and I knew what songs were his, and I knew that he had to be important in some way because he had such a following. And I mean, he's arguably one of the world's best entertainers. I mean, I didn't know anyone who didn't know who Michael Jackson was. So obviously, that's a pretty easy choice for me. I mean, I was alive when he died. But okay, let's get away from this somber mood in here. What is the best album to party to? Take party in any way you'd like. All right, well, my best album to party to would be any Boston album. When I hear Boston, I just get in a good mood, and their songs just make me happy, and they make me want to party. So if I were to throw a party, I would put some Boston on. I mean, just they even have a song that's called Party. I mean, in Foreplay Long Time. I mean, I don't know anyone who wouldn't sing along to that. I mean, it's just awesome music. I mean, just gets people going, gets me going at least. And they've got Boston has that their sound, that Boston sound, like I said in some of my earlier videos. They've got their own thing that they do just right, and it's perfect. And whenever you hear it, you know it's Boston, and you know it's gonna be good. All right, let's move on to the next question. 1 to 3 songs you'd like played at your funeral. Jeez, you got some downer questions. All right. Well, let's break it down into first the artist of the 3 songs that I would want. I would have to obviously have Bob Dylan, and then I would have oh probably Neil Young, and then after Neil Young, uh, let's see, it would either be Cat Stevens or James Taylor. Now, let's get down to what I would have the songs be. If it were Bob Dylan, I have to say "Blowin' in the Wind," um, just because I think it's funeral appropriate. I mean, it's not like one of his. It's not a song like "The Hurricane" or anything. But yeah, I'd have to say "Blowin' in the Wind," and I mean, basically, I'm dead. I Bob Dylan will probably be dead by the time I'm dead, so I'm going up to heaven to hopefully see Bob Dylan. So, yeah, I'd have to say Bob Dylan of any sorts, preferably Blowing in the Wind, but it's my funeral, so I can't really control it. And then Neil Young, if I were to have Neil Young at my funeral, played at my funeral, probably Heart of Gold. I know that's like his most popular song, but it's it's popular for a reason. It's a good song. I like it. Um, yeah, just good song. I know it's not on this album. It's on the Harvest album, but I do not have the Harvest album yet. I have the record. Came in this album, funnily enough. But yeah, so I'd have Neil Young, Heart of Gold, and I don't have a Cat Stevens album, but if I were to have Cat Stevens played at my funeral, it would either be The Wind or Peace Train. Peace Train, another one of my favorite songs. Can't go wrong with that. And then I've gone on about this song before. I'd have James Taylor play Fire and Rain. Yep, that's one of my probably top 10 favorite songs of all time. I mean, ever since the first time I heard it, it's just been one of my favorite songs. So I would have James Taylor, Cat Stevens, Neil Young, Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan would be Blowing in the Wind, or any Dylan. Neil Young, Heart of Gold, Cat Stevens, Peace Train, and James Taylor, Fire and Rain. Alright, and next question. If you woke up tomorrow and found that your entire record collection was gone, never to be seen again, would you start over? And what would you buy first? And what would you do differently? Well, if I woke up tomorrow, I would definitely start over because I don't have that many records to begin with. So, obviously, that's a very easy question for me. Yes, I would start over. What would I buy first? Well, my original intent when I started collecting records was to just get all of Bob Dylan's albums. So I would probably, just because Dylan's where my heart goes, I would get some Dylan first. But really, I mean, if I'm going to start collecting again, I'm going to get my hands on whatever I can. So honestly, I'd get whatever record I could. I mean, if I'm at a record shop, I'm going to get as many records for as cheap as possible and the best quality. So who's to say what one I'm going to specifically look for first? I'm just going to try to get my hands on more vinyl. And what would I do differently? Well, like I said, I would try to get my hands on as much vinyl as possible, as quickly as possible. And yeah, if I could go back and do something differently, like if I woke up a while ago and just suddenly had this epiphany, like collect vinyl a few years ago, I would do that because I think I waited way too long to start collecting because I don't know. I just really like it now. I'm glad that I started collecting, and it's an awesome hobby for me because I love this era's music. I love I love music in general. I love just classic music. So yeah, I just start collecting earlier. But anyways, that's my response to the 5 questions. Hopefully, I'll keep on posting videos like this. And oops, sorry. And shoot. There we go. Now I'm back on my screen to see me. But anyways, yep, hopefully I'm going to keep on posting these. I'm going to keep updated on my new vinyl and everything for you guys. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see all you guys later. Thanks for watching.